Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marisa and I am here on YouTube to talk all things curly hair. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up because every single thumbs up really helps. Today I want to talk about actually not specifically to do with curls but still hair, and that is to do with my natural hair color journey because I have now had my natural hair color for over 2 years. Previously to that, I did not have my natural hair colour since I was about 15. I think I was about 15 the first time I had a few blonde highlights put in, and basically from that point onwards it was always coloured more and more basically as time went on. And I've had a few messages on here and on Instagram recently, people asking me what my hair colour is, like how can they get it, what bottle dye did I use, which just, it tickles the life out of me because for so many years I was dyeing my hair, trying to get it to be a different colour, trying to get my hair to be the colour of someone else's, or let's face it, not a colour that anyone has naturally, because I was desperately trying to get ash blonde. And there are very, very few people in this world who really, truly have naturally ash blonde hair. So I was just constantly striving and yearning for a colour that my hair just wasn't. I had some great colourists do my hair, and even when they put the colour on my hair, it didn't last because my hair just didn't want to be that colour, and I should have just listened to it all those years ago. If only. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. When I was dyeing my hair all those years, so I'm 36, and like I say, I started highlighting when I was 15, so I was colouring my hair for nearly 20 years, which is insane really. I just was so used to being blonde that I felt like blonde hair was me, and that if I didn't have my hair dyed blonde, that I wouldn't feel like me anymore. That's just how I felt. And what's crazy is since growing out the blonde and now I have just my natural colour, I feel more me than I ever have. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's how I feel. I look back at pictures of myself with blonde hair and I almost don't recognise myself. I really think that in so many cases, the hair colour that grows out of your head, the way it is naturally, is what suits you best. And obviously I spent almost 20 years fighting that, but I've come to the conclusion now in my 30s that that is the case. I was really aiming for that like silvery ash blonde, and my hair just has a natural warmth to it. It's got maybe not showing up so much, it looks very ashy here, but it does actually have quite a lot of warmth to it naturally, and it would always pull warm no matter what ashy colour or toner was put on it. It would always end up looking warm, and I just fought it and fought it and fought it, and I never won. When I started to really notice grey hairs coming through kind of in my mid-20s, I was horrified and I wanted them gone. I wanted them covered. I did not want anyone to be able to see that I had any grey hair, because I just felt, to me, grey silver hair equaled looking old, and I did not want that. And so I started getting colour even in between the foils, because I used to get foil highlights on it, and I started getting colour between the foil highlights so you could not see any greys. And of course that was really, really damaging to my hair, and my hair was in a really sad state from trying to get this light ash blonde and from dyeing all of my hair. I do have these awful memories of getting my hair coloured, and for a good few weeks, even up to a couple of months afterwards, every time my hair was wet, it used to smell like wet dog. It was just, I don't know, the damage. And if I would shake my hair, if I would put my hands in and shake it, tiny, tiny little fragments of hair would float to the ground every single time. Which now, thinking of that, just makes me feel a little bit queasy at the thought that that was just my hair breaking off. And actually, my hairdresser didn't even use bleach. She didn't use ammonia. Yeah, that's right, ammonia. She didn't use ammonia. She used like a gentle high lift solution, not straight bleach. And even with that, my hair just couldn't handle it. It really, really was not happy. And I had started my curl journey, my healthy curly hair journey, and I used to get my hair coloured about every 6 months, so not really, really regularly. But what would happen is my curls would be doing amazing. They would do better and better and better, and then it would be time to get my colour done. I would wash out the colour, dry my hair, and basically my curls would disappear completely. You would not believe I had curly hair. Even if I did my full curl routine, deep condition, diffused, everything, there was almost no curl there. It was soul destroying because I was putting in such time and effort to my curls. Then I would get my hair coloured and it would feel like it reset me all the way back to the start of my progress. And then 6 months would go by and I would start to see real progress in my hair, and it would start to look lovely and bouncy, and you know, it would recover. Just as it was starting to look its absolute best, it would be time to go get my colour done again. And this went on for a while. And I was starting to really wonder if I wanted to continue, but I just could not imagine having my natural hair colour and not colouring my hair, because as I said, I thought I wouldn't feel like me without the blonde, and how I felt about my greys and silvers. I didn't want to look old. So I just was in a quandary. I had my curly Instagram page at this point, and I'd had it for a while, and I'd been following some amazing people who just embraced their silver hair. They just embraced their naturally silver hair. So Janelle O'Shaughnessy, I'm sure you've heard of her. She's on Instagram and on YouTube. She just called them her silver babies, and she was proud of them, and she was sharing that she had these silvers, and it was kind of mind-boggling to me that somebody was just embracing their silver hair and loving it and, you know, rocking it. Marianne, Good Gravy, It's Wavy on Instagram, she used to post a lot about her silver hair, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, her hair. And so over time, my attitude about grey and silver hair started to switch, and I started to see it as something beautiful. And seeing so many, you know, young women just embracing their natural colour hair, as well as older women who were very silver, just embracing it and rocking it with confidence, it completely changed my whole attitude about my own silver hair. And I have an entire silver streak at the front there. It's hiding a little bit today, but there it is. And I have a significant number of greys and silvers throughout my hair, and I now love them, which is just crazy considering how much I hated it 10 years ago. So because of this attitude shift, and because my priorities were now my curls and my curl health rather than my colour, I wasn't sure what to do. And I had an appointment booked with my colourist, and then she had to cancel the appointment. And I was relieved. That was how I felt. I felt relieved. And I just didn't remake the appointment. And that was how it started. And I just decided at that point that was it. I was going to grow my hair out, and then I could see if I hated it, I could always colour it again. But I was now determined I was going to grow it all the way out. So I hadn't had my colour done in about 6 months. So I kind of had a head start. I had 6 months worth of growth already, and I just went for it. And actually, once I was past maybe the 9-month grow out stage, it started to look deliberate, and it looked less like bad roots, and it started to look more like kind of a balayage, like it was a conscious decision that I was either balayaging it or growing it out. And I actually really enjoyed the grow out. I enjoyed the kind of blonde ends and the darker roots. I was just really excited to now get rid of all the blonde. And in fact, in my excitement, I definitely cut my hair shorter than I would have on a number of occasions, because I was just so desperate to get rid of the blonde. Because what I could see happening is I could see the tighter, healthier, shinier curls on the top half of my head, and I could see the more stretched out, drier, not so healthy looking hair on the bottom half that still had the dye on it. And I was just desperate to get rid of it. So at the beginning of this year, this is nearly the end of 2020, what a year, but near the beginning of this year, I did cut off quite a lot. My hair was really quite short, yeah, it was really short. It was shorter than I wanted it to be, but that was the very last of the blonde, and it just felt so good to have my natural virgin coloured hair. I absolutely loved it. So my top tips for growing out your colour, if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking maybe you want to just embrace your natural colour, maybe you don't want to spend the money on getting your hair coloured anymore, it's extremely freeing feeling not to be like, oh, well, I've got to get my roots done, or when am I going to get my colour appointment? It is so freeing, I have to say. And boy, does it save money. But even with those things aside, if you're thinking about it, I would say just go for it. Give yourself a good 9 months to get past that first awkward growing out stage, and then see how you feel. And when you've gone that far into the journey, like 9 months or so, usually I would say you tend to feel like, well, I may as well go the whole hog now, and then you stick it out. And at the end of it, if you cut off all your dyed or damaged hair, you can always recolor it if you want to. There's nothing to say that just because you grow it out, you can never recolor in the future. I don't personally ever see myself coloring my hair again because I actually, as it happens, love my natural hair color, which I'm still shocked by the fact that I love my natural hair color sometimes, because I was convinced it was just a nothing color. It was gross and, you know, it was horrible. I was just convinced of that. So you never know, you might surprise yourself and actually love it. Sometimes if you have greys or silver, sometimes they can behave a little bit differently to the rest of your hair, but not always. It's not always the case. I actually don't find that mine do. Mine are pretty much, they react pretty much the same as the rest of my hair. So it hasn't been a problem. But if you're on the fence, my recommendation would be just to go for it. Have a certain amount of time in your mind that you're going to stick to it, and don't let anything put you off of that determination. Just go for it and say, right, I'm going to do this long. Maybe for you that's 6 months, maybe it's 9 months, maybe for you that is, I'm going to grow it all the way out and then maybe I'll colour it again. Whatever it is, set it in your mind and just go for it. Check out the hashtags on Instagram, check out the Grombre hashtag, check out Silver Sisters, all of those hashtags just for some amazing silver hair inspiration. For me, the health of my hair became the most important thing. So if that is how you're feeling, that you want your hair to be healthy, and you don't want to be tied down to, you know, appointments, getting your roots done and all of that, then I would say go for it. And if you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them for you. One of the loveliest things about not being a dyed blonde anymore is I have, for the first time in 20 years, I have shiny hair. I just never thought I would get shiny hair because dyed blonde hair doesn't tend to be shiny, and now my hair is shiny and I love that. So I hope that was interesting or helpful, that you've liked seeing my progression through those photographs of my grow out journey. And if you have any questions, please always feel free to ask and I will help you as best I can. And thank you again for being here. Please give a video a thumbs up and subscribe if you like watching me here, and let me know if there's any other topics that you'd like me to talk about specifically. And please don't forget to follow me over on Instagram for loads more curly content as well. Bye for now.